Yeah, there's a difference. It's quite large, in fact, as we have seen a lot of players that in Challengers look great, have not been able to make that jump.
We have seen one that made that jump, Bull.
Yeah, which I still don't
get. It was also an
get.
AD carry, and he came up and made a difference.
He actually did. That's still my favorite part of this spring's timeline. Absolutely mind-boggling to me that Bull, of all players, is doing as good as he is, and we'll see if Samver and Paulo are able to have a similar level of performance.
Gonna ban away the Nautilus.
Yeah.
Which...
I wonder if they want to like prioritize an Orianna and are expecting the Senna to come out. That would be my main read on this, as Gideon's Lee also going to get banned away. Unsurprisingly, the Lucian is going to not be given to T1 because it makes the early laning phase very unfun. Orianna would be the other big one here. It's going to be the Kalista instead. T1 have very often just opted into a B1 Orianna. Milio is another one that I think our top tier teams rate a lot higher than some of our middle to lower of the pack. It's just going to be the Orianna. No surprises there. No real shock. And we obviously do hope that this isn't answered by Azir, but
or Zyra Khan.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too great about it. The Senna does actually get picked up, so in that light, the Nautilus makes sense. And I will not speak, because if I speak, it will be pretty...
Caitlyn? Caitlyn Lux responds to the Senna as Carey is shaking his head. Probably about something else, I would imagine.
Yeah, this is why we were kind of afraid coming into this matchup. There's a lot of teams that will see the Senna and handshake with a scaling or outranging pick. Lux Caitlyn does outscale, but it's also one of the most impressive lanes that basically doesn't allow you to make any mistakes. So Samver and Paulo in their first game going up against the Caitlyn Lux of Guma and Keria. That's not going to be a very fun time. I assume, or we assume, that the Ornn is going to go with the Senna, but obviously we don't know for a fact that that's going to be the case. But it is the most likely.
The Ornn is very good in the bottom side into Zyra Khan, the Senna Ornn combination. Because you basically just ignore any of their roots or anything, and so you're just very tanky. They don't do enough damage. I would imagine that Caitlyn Lux at least is going to push him out of lane relatively easily. But let's see how it goes.
I wouldn't have hated the Seraphine here. I think Seraphine does a much better job of kind of neutralizing a lot of these lanes, and she has a ton of innate wave clear. I think for Ornn that is a lot harder to do into Cait Lux. We'll see what ends up happening as two of Owner's favorites. The Rel and Nocturne are going to get taken away. Also, both of those are incredible with the Orianna. Jarvan would be next here, is my expectation, but maybe we'll just go to Sejuani instead, although for T1 their synergy isn't really there. I'm sure Zeus will just play Aatrox again, so at least you'll have Permafrost in that lane, which they can utilize to great effect for some of these early to mid-game skirmishes.
What's it going to be? Got a pick for Gideon here. The Jarvan does get selected. And as you mentioned, Zeus with the blind pick. Will he just go towards that Aatrox? Or will we see something else? And what is Owner playing? Especially with yet another jungler taken away. I think Poppy is probably fine. Briar is not.
It's not real.
Oh no. Oh no.
Zeus saw that King got a lot of attention. He's like, no! Not allowed.
Not another one. Not in this match.
Yeah. I'm going to be feeling a bit rough about that one. Again, T1 follow the trend. It's going to be Poppy or Sejuani. That's mostly what we have been seeing. And not too surprising if that just ends up being the setup here again.
Doesn't want to play Poppy, but he's playing Poppy.
Doesn't have a choice. As Morgan could go for the Aatrox here. Has just been both a blind and as a counter pick. It's been fine. I think Aatrox is very player dependent. Also, basically confirms what we already expected. This is the Senna Ornn here in the bot lane for OK-Man Brion. Then good luck, Samver and Palu. Those first couple of levels are going to be crucial. If you fall behind early on, Poppy is one of the best early divers in the game. Makes it really hard to consistently find any angles. And I know Senna's level 1 generally is great, but Intercade and Lux, I think that they might struggle, and if they make 1 or 2 missteps and the health bars go low and owner path spot, game might be in a sharp deficit before, yeah, I'm seeing some finger snapping here from Valdez, and that is kind of how it feels.
Yeah, T1 don't mess around when it comes to, rookies get called up. They don't go easy on these players. They come in, they have a job to do, and they get it done. We have seen in the past that sometimes they go for interesting stuff in the drafts, and sometimes go for some picks that are not necessarily top tier and try to win with those anyway. But this time I feel like it's a relatively respectful draft. I do think that the Caitlyn Lux is going to be quite good into the Senna lane, and everything else works out very well. Just curious to see if OK Savings Bank Breon has got it in the tank. I think we're going to know from very early on in this first game exactly how the series is going to go. So guys, let's jump onto the rift for game number 1.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Valdez, I just want to make sure. Did I hear some disparaging comments towards AD Cannon? In what you were like, oh yeah, sometimes T1 take risks. Are you trash talking Terminus Cannon?
Yes.
Oh, I can't believe you would do this. Unacceptable.
Yes.
I
would.
I almost forgotten about that.
Yeah, I just had to remind everyone that it did happen. That's not the only example, but
No, there's more, but that was my favorite one, personally.
yeah. Faker's just gonna say hello here. Gideon by himself. Of course, he just wanted to come in here and put down a ward, and that he will. Owner gonna go to his Raptors, probably. As you do. Poppy pretty fast at clearing the jungle as well with her AoE capabilities. And Gideon's going to get some help here, actually, from Morgan. So, nice little leash there. I do worry, again, I wasn't sad about the Cassante because I don't think he's strong. I was sad because I think he's too strong. And we'll see what happens in this game. Zeus generally one to show off with some flashy picks, especially his Yone, which he is very famous for at this point. But
yeah,
instead he might just do it with Cassante this time.
And I want to highlight as well, I think that what to me really is the thing with Cassante is that if you look at how Keen played a lot of it, it's that play that's in everyone's mind, right? Keen basically 1v3ing. He did actually play it really well. Like he dodged a lot of skill shots. Continuously was able to isolate targets and whatnot, but at the same time, with any other champion, he would have got maybe one person, perhaps 2. That would have been the end of it. So it takes away. It's just all about the champion, and that's also why we don't like Corki. As hey, look, guess what? He's here, but look at that, Gideon. He's a knower. He's aware that this might be happening. He's covering already for the first crash.
Yeah, and Owner's going very deep into that jungle. Just going for the wolves at this point. He might be like, oh, where's Gideon? Well, now he's about to see him. Gideon got to be careful not to go near any walls. He is going to go near this one, though. His Owner not scared to take this fight. The flag already used here by Gideon. And no collapse comes in because they don't have any prio from the bottom lane or from the mid lane. So at this point, Owner can just do whatever he wants. This is what Peanut used to do as well when he was on Genji.
I was about to say, is he going to follow? Is he going to cross over? At the same time, though, I think you take this if you're Breon, because Gideon did actually get his...
Okay.
I take it back. You do not take that.
Trying to get on top of Zeus here, and they might be able to kill him. Yeah, that's pretty easily done. As Gideon immediately from the Wolves just ran straight to the top lane and is able to take him out.
So there's an upside here. Palu does have TP. So he makes his way back to the lane very, very quickly, which is nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I'm sure we're going to see a replay, but that is unfortunately not what you want to have happen, because I think Gideon actually did a good job. Both zoning off Owner, gets his wolf, and then makes his way towards the top side where he punishes a proxying Zeus. As, Owner, no. They know, though.
Yeah, Gideon knows he is here. As now Karis is able to come on over. Owner still level 3, and he is able to taxi onto the Azir and push himself out of the jungle. Just trying to put on as much pressure as possible. He's not going to win that smite fight either.
I mean, Owner is spending a lot of time. His top side has been up from the get-go, right? Like, this is actually going to be a lot of lost gold. He also still needs to back, so Gideon actually pulling out ahead here in the 1v1. Now, the good thing about this for T1 is that with them knowing where Gideon is, the play working out isn't really a necessity because of what is happening in the bot lane. We're currently looking at about double the CS picked up. As we take another look at this. And yeah, you're a level down, and Carrier might get hit by the knockup, but you will also get rooted and probably die. As really nicely done here actually by Gideon. If he doesn't hit the flag and direct, I don't know if they can 100 to 0 CC chain him. So good job on that. It's Feldas, we're 3 plates down almost at 5 minutes 30. I was worried about this with the Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, Keria and Gumayusi, they have done this to pretty strong teams as well. This isn't only, okay, we're going to come out here and style on Bro or anything like that. They come out with this, and we saw their win rate with this is 7-1. Yes, they're a very winning team, but this is one of their most confident duos of champions, right? That they have brought in, as now trying to make a play on the Faker, but no Emperor's Divide is used.
Yeah, I think Karis tried to psych out Faker, force him to flash, and then they can do a follow-up gank. But Faker is ice cool, does not choose to use it.
I mean, you can always wait until the
animation
starts and then you flash. So,
and he just didn't. Yeah, this is why I would have really liked to see something with more wave clear. I think there are picks that you can go for that can. Seraphine is the most notable one, but there's plenty of other ones that actually get to do a good job at clearing the wave from range, so that this doesn't happen. Like, you'll still get bullied, it'll still be a tough laning phase, but...
Okay.
There we go.
Faker forced to flash himself. Root does come down, there's a trap underneath him as well. That's the end. Apollo again. 0-2 at this point, and now 4 plates going into the hands of Guma and Carry, and guess who's here now? Samver does have his flash available. Just gonna cleanse it first, but now he is slowly on the run. Owner not giving up, trying to force the flash, but Samver will be ice cold himself and not use it.
Yeah, but still gets zoned off. And I don't know what you expected, right? Like, Senna Ornn specifically just doesn't... Even if this was piloted by 2 like top-level LCK players, this is a really hard matchup. You basically don't get to make mistakes. These guys were just called up from challengers.
Turret's gonna die at 7:30.
Yeah.
Is that legal? Are they just allowed to do that? Is that okay?
This is what you opted into. I think to a certain extent at least.
Uh-oh. Here we go over here. That's a long wall to drag him over. But now Gideon's here once again. Zeus a little bit more fed at this point in terms of items, but it's not going to matter as he will be taken out as well. So Paulo's 0-2, but so is Zeus.
And Gideon is actually playing well, right? He's observing this early, absorbing rather this early pressure. As we take another look at this, yeah.
That's what the combo does.
That's how it works. Tried to deny the full CC with his W, but didn't actually end up getting it. And then here, it's good punish, right? Gideon was already making his way over, so I think this gank works out no matter what, unless Zeus somehow gets to really utilize his ghost towards the top, maybe some alcove gaming, but instead, he looks for Morgan, who is 2-0. And if it wasn't for the state of the bot lane, I'd be like, okay, bro, looking good. You know what's going to happen instead? Is Guma and Carrier are going to rotate to the other end of the map. Yeah. And they're going to do the exact same thing with this turret.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if you really want to dive. I mean,
don't need to.
Yeah, like it just feels risky. Like you could just keep them here under the turret and get more plates instead. As oh, he might go down. Okay, Palu thankfully gets in front of that. But yeah, Samver's not even level 6 yet. So yeah.
And reality is he doesn't die, but he also doesn't get to do anything.
Yeah.
This has to back off. He's going to miss out on a ton of XP.
Oh, no. Well, that's the binding to come in. Ignite used on Icaria. Don't think he cares too much about that. As
No,
he
he's
is
not
looking
giving
for
up.
more. Yep. Might as well. Flash comes through for Palu. As, again, he will live, just like Samver, but again, that turret's going down.
Yeah, this might be some of the highest amounts of plates take. We might be on some record tracks here, Veldas. I'm not going to lie with this Caitlyn Lux.
But bro, we're going to get the dragon.
처치했습니다.
Yeah, they're cross-mapping well, but...
Yeah. Well, it's not going to go down just yet, but on the next wave it will. As you do see that Samver has gone mid now. And that's something you can do on the Senna. You don't have to stay in this lane with the Ornn. But Gumo will be given this entire plate, or turret rather. And yeah, now that's 2 turrets with all the plates gone already at 10 minutes.
It's a 4,000 gold lead in the bot lane, Veldas.
Yes.
It's 10 minutes in. 4,000.
Yeah.
And guess what? Now they're going to run mid and do the same thing.
Of course. You should. Kuma running towards mid as fast as he possibly can. And yeah, I do think part of it is certainly the choice of, okay, well, we see the Caitlyn Lux face up, but we had a, yeah, everybody's oohing and awing about Gumayusi's gold. Very true, he is very far ahead. Makes sense. But, yeah, with the Caitlyn Lux face up, the Ornn was not the pick, but still, I'm not sure if another pick would have helped too much, to be perfectly honest. Because it is kind of a Challenger League bot lane that is somewhat... They're being thrown into the fire here, okay, against one of our best bot lanes in the entire world.
They're being set on fire. They're being thrown into lava.
Oh.
Okay. And then, I don't know, add more bad stuff.
Yeah. So, it's not going to be good feels in the bottom lane for Bro. That's for sure.
Bob Morgan is fed. He is fed.
Yeah, he is.
He does actually have a lot of gold.
Owner could just, yeah. Oh, look at that. That was pretty slick. I like that. With the knock-up, just denying the flash away. Also the shockwave coming through. But Cars does get away anyway at the end of it all. Samver and Palu are once again matching them in mid. As it feels like nobody else can really match them, though. So it's kind of like lose-lose situation. Like, what is an Aatrox going to do into this
Yeah,
game?
nothing.
You know? So if somebody has to match them. It has to be the duo.
Yeah, there isn't really any other way out. As Keria has gone for Slay, surely to just further accelerate this game.
Gotta go fast.
They might actually get 15 plates. Or sorry, yeah, no, they would.
I mean, the only way this gets stopped is if somebody else comes here in the mid.
But they have both subs. Like, they have both subs available, and Owner is playing still heavily towards them. They have really good vision control as well. And because their bot lane is so far ahead, and they perma prio in at least one lane, there isn't really any big response. Like, Bro's going to have to basically flip a team fight. But with so many sums available, your execution is going to need to be flawless.
I mean, you've got Ornn, you've got Jarvan.
Yeah.
I feel like at least force the summoners. At least, like, give them a little bit of relief in that duo lane. You know, put some pressure on. But, it's difficult. It's not an easy position where there's, like, a lot of vision control for T1 as well, just because the entire map basically is winning. Including the mid lane. Faker ahead about 20 CS. I know this entire game has been about the bottom lane, but does deserve noting. As Morgan is pretty far behind here, he is going to be all-outed by Zeus and nearly just taken down, if not for everybody, once again just piling into the Cassante and taking him out. Zeus now 0-3, and now Faker coming on in, and that will be Keria to take a kill in the trade.
And you'll take that as Bro, I think, you know. 1 for 1. Senna gets some gold. That's something. I don't know if the...
I just think it's really funny that Zeus is 0-3
in this game.
Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, that's a lot of flashes that were just pinged.
Hey, they didn't get every plate.
True.
You know, they only got 13 out of 15.
Only 13 out of 15.
I mean, the game isn't over. If Brion gets to give or take 35, 40 minutes,
Yeah.
that's a team comp. You know,
Sure.
you got Ornn
Yeah.
giving out the ornaments. You got Senna who's stacking. I don't know how many stacks Samver is on, but given how little auto attacking he probably has been able to do, I don't think it's going to be very inspiring.
Yeah. Never say never.
Never say never.
DRX, they won in 2022. That happened.
Atlas lost his hair that one time. That happened as well.
Yeah, that also happens. You never know.
The bros are never going to give up. Surely, Veldes.
Yeah. They're going to chill out. They're going to try to turtle up, as you do. We don't have Hex Tech or Infernal Soul in this game.
New Soul?
New Soul.
New Soul, new us is Gideon. Can he steal it? No, he cannot. I was ready for the handoff, Veldes.
It's Cloud Soul.
Just thinking about how quick Keria with Slay, Shirelias, and Cloud Soul is going to be.
Well, they are going to press their buttons here. The Jarvan goes over the top. Faker does not have Flash, and you know what? They're going to get him. That's a nice little pick off in the mid lane. The Rift Herald is doing insane amounts of damage to that mid lane, by the way, as now they've got another. They've found Owner, as a ton of burst damage does come out here, though, from the bottom duo, and they do take out Karis.
And a 1-for-1 trade in isolation is going to feel good, but a little disjointed there from Brion. And while that was happening, they lost 3 turrets, which is not ideal. We'll see if Gideon gets to make his way out of here. Keria's chasing. He's so fast.
빨간 팀의 포탑이
Wait, what?
파괴되었습니다.
He's so fast. Look at this Lux. What's happening? Okay, well, Jarvan, he just does flag and drag, and he will get out, but it was pretty funny. As now, trying to go for yet another turret. Of course, they did get 6 Void Bubs, so that just means these turrets will go down even quicker.
Rapid fire cannon now done here for Guma. And we sort out the amount of investment necessary from Brion to get a single kill. As we take another look here, Herald does get used, and Owner just is Faker is getting dope, and he's just going for a joyride, Veldes. His mid laner ends up going down, but again, throughout all this, there are 3 turrets that end up being taken. Zeus gets top to get mid-inner and mid-outer, and it's still a 1-for-1 trade in the end, evening kills here for T1.
Yeah, good stuff. Trying to steal the red, and they will. Carry gonna take that one down. And it just feels like suffocation at this point. You know, it's only been 8 kills, but a lot of the damage has just been done to structures. It's been a lot of PvE. It's been a lot of stealing of jungle camps, taking over the entire map, taking every objective. And that is what T1's comp is doing with Caitlyn Lux specifically.
So Keria did go for Morello, so you can argue that that is not a very efficient use of gold. And thus, the gold lead that T1 have is somewhat deceptive.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. That must have been a misclick. Doesn't matter for the game, so...
Yeah, you can see his face. He's kind of smiling. He's kind of grimacing. I mean, what can you say?
He's like, yeah, man. I'm having a tough time, Veldes.
Yeah.
Talking about this game.
No,
I'm not
that
gonna
makes sense.
lie. He went Shirelias first, and he's leading the damage chart.
Yep. Yeah, again, I'll say it. I said it before. This isn't just a, okay, we're going to counter bro and we're going to, you know, style on him with a fancy bot lane. It's like these guys have played this duo 8 times before.
Yeah, no,
and it's one of their best duo picks.
Yeah.
So, and it's really good into Santa Orange. So they really kind of just had their cake and they got to eat it. And they also had a, you know, a glass of wine as well. Some nice cheese, perhaps.
Okay, you lost. Okay, so the cake sounds good. What type of cake are you eating that you want to follow it up with wine and cheese?
I don't know. It's a nice party.
Cheesecake? Wait, Guma might be in trouble here. A flank? But you know, Poppy's there, so they can't really.
Gotta try something. I do think that Bro are getting a little bit paralyzed, and it makes sense, right? Given the game state. Gideon is he's still here.
You got to go for the Hail Mary, right? Try and get maybe a shutdown. Oh, Guma is alone.
Guma's alone.
Does have Ghost and Flash.
He's on Vision. Press that orange button.
There we go.
All right. You're going to force the Flash. Oh, the Predict. The Predict from Paulo.
Oh!
Taken down. Karis with the kill. Huge.
That's how it starts, Valdez.
Oh. Wait, Binding comes through and Gideon's down. And now we got a Shockwave. Everybody's flashing away, but the Sun Turret is up. Gonna help out with that. Keria really just has no chill. Flashing on in. And they're not quite able to dive this turret though, so that'll be the end of that.
That's how the comeback starts, Valdez. You get the kill, you get the shutdown. Karis' itemization gonna get accelerated. It's only a Cloud Soul.
빨간 팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guma is alone, and is it a Predict? Was it Guma flashing into an Orner ult? I'm gonna give Paul the benefit of the doubt. He deserves it after what he's been through in this game.
Hell yeah.
And a big win. And I do want to reiterate, you know, it's a 6k gold deficit, but eventually if T1 doesn't take Baron, which it is T1, so I do expect that at some point will happen. Eventually the Senna, Azir, and Ornn combination is going to really do great work in team fights.
Yeah. I do think that they kind of came into this game and they had a plan and they said, okay, let's try it out. You know, very nice, well-rounded team composition, very team fight focused. And we'll just play it out and see what happens. You know, we're not expecting to win, but we'll try our best. And they had to run into Caitlyn Lux, which did not do them any favors. But you are right, Chronicler. There's always a chance that if T1 are maybe a little disrespectful in their play, or if they don't, you know, if they cut some corners or something like that. As we know, T1 are going for the Baron here. Bro do know about this as well.
Look at Owner's ultimate. Gideon can't be allowed near this pit.
Yeah, and he was on Vision there for a moment. Palu with a nice angle on the ult is going to draw some people over to try to deal with him as T1. Still Vision in that pit, as now the knockup's coming in. Karis is just, oh god, he's 100-0. Goodbye. As he will go down, and the turn finally comes through from the side of T1. As they will respect this one. Nice knock up here from Owner. Deny on the dash, and that'll be a second kill now for T1.
And we'll see what T1 wants to do. Might try to push on here. Wave is coming in. Or whether they decide to go towards the Baron anyway. Doesn't look like that is on their mind right now. Instead going to push. Health bars are a little low. Faker is tanking.
Yeah, they're just pushing through the turret. They don't even care. They got that root onto the Ornn, and they were following up on it. But it is just going to be the inhibitor going down. As Zeus is still getting in there, just trying to take out Samber. And that was not going to work. But Zeus has been through a lot in this game. As he has his head on his hand there for a moment. And the Cassante play doesn't work out. He's not that OP, okay? Like,
there's limits.
Calm down a little bit.
Now, what I'm wondering is, Cassante is dead for 30 seconds. Do Bro
Yes.
do the thing? I think they have to. I think you go for it.
Do the Baron.
They gotta do it. Oh, I think he gets to the back. Owner doesn't get to back. Is Poppy, so we'll be able to make his way out. But they have great Baron damage. Jarvan, Flack, and Azir.
I mean, yeah. Absolutely send it. That's another Binding. They're trying to turn here on a Faker, but no follow-up. A little bit late as Gideon is going to go down, and the damage isn't quite there. Faker's arm guard, and the massive wombo comes in finally from the side of T1. As Zeus is given enough time to also TP back on in, and that's a triple kill for Guma. And Samber going to be sniped, but he is going to survive.
Love that. Actually keeps his perfect KDA alive by dropping the ward so he can get the Q off. I do think that's the end of the game, but You know, Samver,
Hey!
he did well. Didn't die. Bro, they went for the big play, and I think they had to, but...
I think they should have just flipped it.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, just flip it. Don't even turn. As T1 are going to, also just boost those damage numbers as it is a T1 victory. Not looking too happy. Bro are going to be moving to the blue side here after they did select red for the first game.
And one can only imagine that the plan is, you know, you have Paulo and Samver debut against T1. They get clapped, which is to be expected. Again, Gumayushi and Carrier, T1 is in really good form right now. They do this to, not to this extent, but to much better bot lanes. We've seen them do it as well. And then you keep them in, and then when they play against non-Guma Carrier, instant glow up. It's gonna feel like the easiest 2v2 in the world. I see the lines. That's how Bro is getting their win. Let me double check who they're playing next. Humble Life, okay, maybe not. Maybe Viper in the Light isn't it? There you go, Nongshim.
Well,
surely.
what do you mean? You and Peter, they're fantastic.
Yeah, I don't tempt me with a good time when it comes to the Nongshim bot lane, but I do think that is where we're going to see Samver and Palu really deliver. That's what I'm hoping for, Valdez.
Hey, the Orianna ban. And that was actually on the side of T1, so they don't want them to first pick that one. And Samver, after not dying in that last game, he's going to get his hands onto this Varus. We saw what Deft was able to do on this pick in the last series that we did have. So let's see if Samver can do the same.
With the new itemization, the lethality Varus is back from really a pretty bad position that it was in previously. While simultaneously, as we saw, particularly when you compare it with pair it rather with a good enchanter, a lot of opportunities to go for the on-hit variety. It is more dependent on you having a front line, but if you do, the DPS output is really not on the same level, and we'll see what the Senna is going to be. And I'm wondering if this is because the expectation is this is a preemptive Talia for Karis, who is definitely going to go Azir. But it might also be for Carrier or for Owner, which I don't think is going to be the case. I'm optimistic, Valdez. I see you looking, you're like, no,
yeah,
let's.
No.
It's blind, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can flex it, sure, but I don't think in this day and age. I think in the jungle it's not that bad. And I guess Carrier can play anything, so yeah. Maybe.
I knew you'd come around.
But
no, I know. It's probably just a blind pick, which Karis then picks the Tristana into. Rel is obviously a flex pick as well. Could be for Gideon, could also be for the Varus here. We'll see where they end up going with this. We haven't seen Rel support really for quite a while. There are some flex potentials on the side of Brian as well, but that's when you get into really esoteric matchups like going Tristana, Rel, Bod, flexing your Varus to another lane, which I don't think is what we're going to see here today.
Probably not. No, I wouldn't think so. Sejuani looking to come through here. Nope, it's going to be Vi. And Vi is quite strong. Owner's pretty good at it.
Yeah, I get to play one of the non-tanks that's allowed. Woo! Vi definitely pick that into Varus, can feel quite strong, reliably locking him down. Good combo with the Talia as well. Vi Talia is, particularly once Talia is able to get a little bit rolling, we have seen that the change to Talia made her more of a mid to late game character than she was way back when it was just literally hit W and your opponent will go and explode. I'm not so sure about this Ornn ban. I think that what T1 have done that I do really like is not picking what you take with your Senna immediately, because you can do anything, you know, that...
Can it be Vi?
Well, I wouldn't do that. It could be Nila, which I actually think this is a great ban. I think if it wasn't banned by T1, for example, Maokai would be another one. The Sign is one that we've seen.
Ooh, okay.
You can do the really cool combo, you know, where you put the root from Senna on a minion and then Sign like throws the minion. It's cool. It's fun. It's fast. It's Cyan.
You should have gotten into marketing.
I don't think I should have, Veldes.
Well,
Yumi, you know I'm not a very good
yeah. Well, you sold that one pretty well. Cassante is the choice, and Karthus is not. Gragas, okay.
Okay, Gideon. I don't think Gragas is necessarily in the best of spots, but I do think it's fun. You know, it's entertaining. Zeus is like, guys, please, I'll redeem myself for my game into or as Cassante. I would love to see a Zeus Gnar. This is also one of the picks he loves. We'll see if it's actually this and not like Cyan and then Zac support, but I imagine that this should be Zeus playing it.
Yeah.
And in theory, even though we haven't seen a lot of it, we know Zeus likes to play it. Zac is really good into tanks, and the itemization right now for tanks is pretty silly.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
Yes. Zac is great selection. I'm happy with Zac in any scenario,
It's
basically.
just fun.
Big Zac player myself, generally in the jungle. But Keria has played it. I don't think Zeus has ever played it, though. Should probably check on that and
I'm
see if he
pretty
has.
From the top, he played it like once.
Really?
I think so, yeah. The only downside I do think for Zac is that he can build Frozen Heart, but you know it's a waste of mana.
That sign said, "I'm 40, but because of you, Faker, I can't get married." I don't know. Wait. What? I love you 3,000, Faker, but actually I kill you 3,000. 3,000 kills.
Do you know the
in
reference?
game?
I love you 3,000.
No.
No,
Is that from?
it's a reference. It's from your from your favorite series. It's Marvel.
Oh, okay. Great. Anyway, guys, we are ready for game number 2. Let's hop onto the Rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지
Off we go
30초 남았습니다.
into game number 2. This one shouldn't have as massive of a bot issue in this game, but I'm going to be curious to see how this is going to work out on the side of Bro this time. Definitely a much different composition. They still have some tanky pieces that can provide a front line and provide reliable engage, but a little bit less wombo combo-y, as Gragas and Rel can sometimes work against each other in some times. The Gragas jungle, not something we see very often nowadays either.
For Samver, though, he will have a lot more agency in this game, which is quite nice, given that last game he didn't get a whole lot of that. It has also gone for Ghost and Lethal Tempo, which we kind of knew. The moment you have frontline and you're playing into a lot of these tanks, I think that the on-net build is always going to feel better. If he is a really cool dude, he would go AP, but I don't think we do that anymore. But I would love that. You're playing into, you know, into 2.5 tanks. 5 basically is just a bruiser, which builds like 1 bruiser item and then goes the Koenig Rupert and
Yeah.
tank items as well. And
Frozen Heart, that's the other one.
yeah, exactly.
Of the 2 tank items that exist
That
in
you
the game.
do need to buy. Well, some tanks go Balmy Cinder, but not Vi. And we do have confirmation. Zeus played 1 top Zac in the past. As really, it was that long ago.
Tushin versus Genji's Helen at the time.
Wow,
Long time ago.
that's a long time ago.
Top
Oh, there you
Zac.
go.
It was Zeus into Kana during that somewhat regretful Nongshim
It was not. Yeah,
season.
It was a rough year for Nongshim, but does confirm. And Zeus has also gone for the Grasp. And so the thing about Zac is that his W in particular is so good against tanks.
Yep.
And it makes it really hard, especially if he can get an early lead, because he can continuously trade, because he's resourceless. And
his sustain is really strong.
I'm sitting here with a fellow Zac enjoyer, so we're going to have a good time here, Veldes.
Yeah, we're eating well in this one. And Zeus is just going to come in here and say hello. Zac is pretty good in the jungle.
It's just farming grasp stacks.
It's just, okay, he almost got that. Not quite, though, as Palu's getting in there. He's going to force Guma to cleanse and flash as well, as Palu and Samber getting the upper hand in the bottom lane.
That is vengeance coming through from the bro bottom lane as
Owner's here.
Gideon was found, as mentioned earlier, by Zeus. Zeus was annoying him, and it seemed like it was just for fun, but then Owner showed up and said, it is not for fun. It is for serious.
Yeah.
And I think Gideon is going to have to say goodbye to his Gromp at the very least. Might even get double scuttled here because his Elf Bar right now not looking too peachy. We'll see. Paris is on his way.
I mean, Gideon might just die unless he body slams. Nope, not gonna happen. Flash forward, then he body slams. Blocked by Owner, has to flash himself, but here comes Morgan. And now, oh god, that's going to be a bit of a rough field, but Owner gets in there, and the stretching strikes are perfect, and now Carr is desperate for a kill. He does get the one, and he actually gets over the wall, and then he dies. Faker gonna take that kill, picks up the double on the Talia.
Oh, this was gonna be the game, Valdez! Oh, I think Owner tried to just follow and then just auto him, but Gideon was still in like the last couple of frames of the body slam.
Yeah.
So he got cancelled. And then Morgan, helping out his buddy, provided a very, very easy E here. Yeah, as you can see, Owner, I think, just tried to follow up and then go in with the auto, and then this is tragic. The shield falls off.
Oh, no.
And then the moment the shield falls off, Owner gets the E explosion.
That's the most fun Zac play, by the way, when you stretching strike one guy and then you flash to the other.
Oh, it's the best.
It's game-changing, actually.
The dopamine, the multiple
so
bloblets that you get.
Especially when you save your ally in that moment. And he did for a while. The Cars did pick up the one kill. And Faker did pick up two. Samber went back, so this is just a play going over to Keria and Guma in the bottom lane.
Things are better than the last game. They're not great, but they are better, as Paulo actually looking for a possible contest here, and T1 does have to respect. Paulo just, even though he is backing, was threatening a little bit, and that is going to be the end of that. Guma did end up going for the Swifties here. Obviously, always going to feel great on Senna, given that so much of her safety is just in her being slightly out of range of everything, being able to kite out people. And will help a little bit with, most notably, the slow from Samver's E. Keria is just playing Cyan. Basically has gone from one of the most fun supports to is walk up and then
Ignore.
you ignore. And then you just keep doing that.
The great ignorer.
I'm kind of surprised
bottom lane.
we haven't seen more Cyan given how broken temp itemization.
Oh, that was pretty slick. Got hit by the first rock
Yeah.
that came out of Faker.
And that's kind of why I'm like, I know in theory that the Tristana is like strong in general, but I feel like into Talia, if it ever goes even slightly wrong, you don't actually have that much threat the way you do against a lot of other mates because of the E. Oh, Karis, no!
Oh, the ult comes in and it's a solo kill
Never mind.
from Karis.
I take it back!
Chronicler with the epic curse in the mid lane. I don't know how you managed that one. They weren't even on screen. But yeah, Faker not respecting the damage from the Tristana.
What happened there was Faker was thinking the same thing I was. And Carr was like,
Yeah.
but hey, hear me out. The cooldown on your E is way longer than it is on my W.
Getting in here, that's an ignite on Keria. He's in a lot of trouble. The flash forward onto the minions just to try to hit 6 perhaps, and it's not going to amount to too much. That's another kill here for Bro, as over comes Faker trying to get some revenge onto Gideon, who's on top of the rocks and gets knocked back, and Faker will pick up that kill. Oh, there you go. 3,000th kill. First time ever. Faker will be the first to do it. And more milestones to come in the future, no doubt.
And as we can see as well, the person who's even remotely close is Deft, who's like, what, 300, some 300, like 60, 70 kills behind.
Yeah.
So not going to approach it anytime soon. If only he had never left us, maybe he would be closer.
Yeah.
But he did. It's okay. He's back now, and everything is fine. And Faker there together with Owner finding Gideon in the enemy jungle as we take another look. Actually really nicely done.
A locked screen.
Flashed away.
It's getting me there, I don't know.
And yeah, I'm actually gonna agree. I think that you're right. The carrier try to go for like, so flash Q, kill 2 minions, and then after you've done that, you can then ult into them. Definitely a risk he took though, and the flash doesn't go down as here. Faker's 3,000th kill. It's elementary.
It's
really.
a nice one. I mean, he walled in.
Yeah.
A little flashy.
Good communication with Owner.
And again, down on the bottom side, just, oh, look at this. Owner's going to go down too. Bro, they're fighting with them this time.
Never.
Area getting pretty low. A couple more autos. There it is, the Q to finish him off. And this bottom lane is being dominated by Bro right now.
This is looking pretty good, Valdez.
Now Zeus through the wall. He's got Gideon nearby, and that should be a kill.
OTP.
Yeah. Car's getting pretty low, but yeah. Okay, that was a little close, but it's fine. Gideon gonna pick up that kill.
And there is a gold lead for Bree on Valdez. Is it happening?
The gold lead is happening. There is a gold lead right now for Bro. That is real.
As we take another look here. And I imagine Owner got spotted earlier on. They were aware of the timer. Very clean combo. Not allowing Owner to get away with that one. And here we see Paulo hit 6. Guma isn't 6 yet, crucially. And Paulo just gets on top. And this really is one of the few picks that actually gets to chew through the health bar. Paulo also doing a really good job there on the cancel to ensure that the Q channel doesn't go through with his Magnet Storm. And then here, Zeus just gets Cassante. This is payback for him playing Cassante in the last game. And Gideon is just there waiting. And we knew Gideon was on the top side of the map because Owner got unceremoniously blasted there as well. So
yeah,
nicely done. And when it comes to macro, when it comes to the eventual winner of the game, I don't want to make any grand statements, but right now, Brianna looking good.
Yeah, they did lose the gold lead. I'm not sure how that happened exactly, but
yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of rocks that were on the ground. Owner just gonna go forward because he can't really go anywhere else. And now he's gonna flash away, actually. After all of that, here comes Palu. Looking for it, the slow came in, the ignite, is it enough? As the flash forward, he nearly got him. Samber trying to style on multiple T1 members today.
You gotta. If you have the opportunity to solo kill Faker, you gotta go for it. He doesn't end up hitting. But Breon playing with some
gusto.
With gusto. Now, and this is kind of the the problem is that when it comes to the plates, when it comes to the map movement, and when it comes to DCS, we still see that T1 is still sitting on a gold lead. Also going to go up to 6 Krugs here. But I don't want to focus on that, fellas. I don't want to take away from the fun. This game is legitimately really nicely done, but I think I really want to hone in particularly here on the bottom duo, because for you to come in, you know, from challengers against T1, and are T1 playing in this game to the fullest of their level and respect? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Perhaps.
But that doesn't matter, right? Like, I think Polo and Samber are actually playing well, and I hope that we see more of them. I hope that they stick around, because I think for Breon, you gotta try truly something different, and this is something different, and
yeah,
it's probably better than they looked for the entirety of the season, and that's including the DRX game.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that if you're gonna go 5, you gotta try some new players. You know, you have that challenger roster for a reason, and these guys are being given a chance, and they're taking it. They're you know, not only is Samber trying to get the kill on a Faker, but also he's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to say like, hey, look at me, I got 3 kills in LCK. Like, I'm better than my counterpart. You should play me instead, and maybe I should be the starter. So, you know, will that end up happening? Who knows? But if you can keep up a high level of play and keep getting nice duo kills, that maybe it does happen. Gotta make the best case for yourself.
Mid lane prio taken now. Second Dragon is available. As we do see the tank off Hollow Radiance versus Sunfire, a battle for the ages.
Light versus dark.
Zac is light, right?
Yeah, well, the Sunfire ending.
Yeah, I guess. Is it like the radiance of the moon then?
The Hollow Radiance?
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know.
Thematically, that makes sense. It could be.
I was just talking about the purple, but either way, we do have a fight down in the river here, as actually a lot of damage going in to Owner as he oversteps his bounds, as now Palu just going to end that queue, and he gets away with his life as well. Ult comes through, and Palu going to dodge that one as well. Bro, they're working towards this Ocean Drake.
And that is another dragon, or rather a dragon, another dragon taken. First dragon that goes over to Bro, as we have Mountain Soul coming through here. Would be a really big win, because we haven't really discussed the comps at large, because let's be honest, coming into the second game, we didn't expect a whole lot. But for T1, I think it actually will be hard to chew through Bro's health bars if they are able to get a lot of these dragons. Right, like between the on-hit Varus as well as Karis, like once you get to the late stages of on-hit or crit itemization, you can actually chew through these big bulky targets relatively easily. Same can't be said for T1. You have Senna, who doesn't really do a great job, as we saw in some of our past games, of killing tanks. I think the first series in particular was very noteworthy for that. And
we'll play up on the top side. Nice dodge on the knock-up there from Zeus. As Gideon was in the jungle, we could have had a repeat just on the other side of the wall, although Zeus did have flash. To Zac. And ever since some of those shenanigans, things have definitely slowed down. I think that T1, you know, as you were mentioning, they do need to take a hard look at this game and say, okay, well, if it keeps going on this trajectory, we're not feeling too great about our chances, so we really need to hunker down and try not to mess this one up.
yeah, if they're able to stack dragons themselves, I also think that a Cyan and Zac with Mountain Soul and 3 Drakes are not a good time. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Tristana eventually reaches a point, but that's very far into the future. So, really, these Drakes are going to be very important for either team here. We'll see to what extent Brian is able to really contest, because as does need to be mentioned, even though I think they've been doing a really good job thus far, they are still pretty substantially behind. But some missteps and, you know, some continued over-aggression of T1, and all of a sudden Brian can look at a Rift Herald, can look at another dragon. And we have seen, I think Nongshim have been a really good example of this as well, that if you disrespect any team in the LCK, it can snowball quite quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Any team can do it on the right day. And for now, it's looking pretty good in the second game. Game number 1, maybe they just were like, okay, well, we don't have a lot of pressure. Let's just try our best. And sometimes that's when our teams play their best, you know, shake off some of those nerves. It's now this Rift Herald fight coming on in, not going to be stolen, and now Owner in a lot of trouble. Look at that CC chain, was so clean, but immediately Gideon is going to go down, and now Zeus has joined the fight. Going to make quick work of that Varus, as Morgan trying to do a repeat of what we have seen from Cassante from time to time. Has a lot of dodging there on the knockups, but there is just so much on the side of T1 as well. Slow coming in, and can they actually kill the Cassante? Yes, they can, with the help of their Zac.
And the initial collapse onto Owner looks amazing as...
well, yeah, they're gonna probably get followed. Probably, maybe not. Kuma's really getting in there. He
guys
really wants to kill this Rel.
It's just a Rel, just get the wave! Oh my god.
Well, the root's gonna come in, that's
Palu!
And Palu gets out. Karis now looking for more. That's a giant Seraph shield, but maybe Guma's not as lucky, as there's also Gragas, who did come in here, and they will be shut down.
Still deathless, baby! He got out! Why did they not just pull the wave? Could have killed him ages ago. T1, you know, they still have a 3 or 2.5k gold lead. I don't think they're really worrying, but man, this game is a little bit silly, Veldas.
They're having their fun with this one. Yeah, definitely a lot of happy gaming in this one.
Really, I do like their gusto killing Owner, but what, 3 ultimates into just killing Vi definitely is a bit of an overinvestment.
It looks cool.
It did look cool. He did die really quickly. But then you do see that as soon as Zeus comes in, he is able to distract the backline, and then Faker has free reign. The Cilia was already quite fed, and Faker is just throwing rock after rock after rock. And then this is where we just see a little bit of silliness, right? Because Guma takes 2 turret shots, one of which he definitely didn't have to take, which is unfortunately, unlike last time we saw that, it didn't end in disaster. And then Kars comes in with the TP. At this point, Gideon has been able to make his way back, and Guma doesn't have flash. So he just ends up going down, and that's more gold. But then on the flip side, and we do need to be honest about that as well, like on the bottom side of the map, they immediately take another turret, and the gold lead still remains in favor of them, as they do not know about the blob in the jungle.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem because now you just get your pick of who you want to jump on.
Not
and
Samver.
It's going to be Samver. Right? Ooh,
oh, he might be in the pit.
Yeah, he's behind, trying to get on top of this Varus, but he gets away. Samver's totally fine, and Owner is not really able to do much. He does stay alive for an incredibly long amount of time, but now Zeus in a bit of trouble trying to get the burst here onto Samver, and yes, he will! As the Zac, as I mentioned, he's pretty unkillable. They don't even have any Mountain Drakes at this point. And now, they can take their first one.
Last game it was Zeus. This game it's Owner. There has to be a sacrificial lamb. Someone has to be given to the bros, Valdez. And this time around, as Baron takes a look at Dragon getting taken down, it is Owner. And ends up going in with the last little bit of his health. Zeus finds the turnaround. Samver showing why Tom Kench is really as popular as he is. Because, you know, otherwise, if someone jumps on you, you just kind of die. Which we do see here as well. And Keria does a ton of tanking of damage here. Again, they do get Owner. But he does actually get Samver to like half health, despite everything. And then Zeus with a really nice,
You see he immediately picks up all the blobs so he can cast W again as well. It's an incredible amount of burst damage.
Yeah, he did like, I think, flash really short E into immediate W ult.
Yeah. W ult W.
Yeah.
And yeah, even without any damage items, you're still gonna do a huge amount, especially onto a squishy target.
What do you mean no damage items?
Oh, sorry, Ox. Yeah, the Sunfire, yeah, it was purchased. Also, Spirit Massage, a big Zac item because he does have so much self-healing. And it gets even stronger. That is some nice MR on top of everything. Feeling pretty good. But yeah, that was definitely like a broken up fight as well. Like Faker got there halfway through, just like on his wall. He's like, "Hey guys, I hear we're fighting." Yeah. Let me just join here a little bit. Highest damage dealt. It's the one guy who built Sunfire Cave. Coincidence? I think not.
Okay. Calm down. You were calling me Ox. I'm calling you Ox. He is playing Zac into a tank matchup, okay? He is pressing those W's. Ain't no way he shouldn't be top of the damage charts. The more interesting thing to me is that Faker has not really built a lot of damage and is still very high up on the list.
Yeah, Faker does have quite a large amount of kills.
And yeah, and cash.
So he's able to build a lot of items, even if they're not the biggest damage items. And yeah, I mean, he's got a decent amount of AP at this point. As they're trying to take this one down, the exhaust will be used.
It's actually really nice. I'm pretty sure that also reduced the E-explosion damage, so that Keria actually, actually keeps his turret alive. Good for him. It's nice.
Worth.
Yeah, I mean, it's lots of spellbook, right? So definitely worth. Who gets the crook? I think
it was a Zac.
Zac? Yeah.
We've seen that fight happen many a time. They were looking for someone to get up here, but Bro were a little bit behind the play. Now they're going to try to make their own play with TP coming in. Seismic Shove is nearly going to one-shot a Cassante. That's how you know they did a lot of damage. As Zeus is in there behind them as well with his own TP. The wall is perfect, actually. In goes Zeus. Did he go too far this time? Yes, he did. as Faker does have TP though and can save him. Will they even use it or need it? Looks like they don't need it, as that will be the end of Samber, who tried his best to stay alive.
Oh, and the teleport there from Morgan. Attempt to turn around would have been big. But you see Gideon, he was looking for the combo onto Guma. He flashed immediately, so there wasn't really a way to knock back this Senna. And then, unfortunately for Morgan, not even Cassante is happy when he teleports into the waiting arms of a Vi and Talia. That's going to be the Baron now taken out. And T1 had their fun with this one. I think Brion did a much better job, particularly a great bounce back after game number 1, but this might be the end of it, as there you see Guma immediately flashing. Gideon, nice attempt, trying to get something going there, but yeah, Morgan is just immediately dead. And Zeus' TP really ends the party for Brion, as Faker then shows a nice body slam there. You know, that was well done by Gideon to keep his backline safe, but it didn't end up mattering. And Samber, he just wants to kill so badly, and then he just gets tagged by Guma and just unceremoniously gets blown up.
Yeah, didn't take very long on that one.
No.
Zeus also having his fun. Definitely don't want to jump into a Gragas. It's not going to work out well. We have this next Mountain Drake coming up in about 25 seconds. And T1 with the Baron definitely looking to stack these up. They have their Scion and their Zac that would love those extra stats.
I thought you said they have their side on. But it's Scion.
Scion, yeah.
I mean, if you really swallow the T, that kind of works.
Yeah. Well, we do have 85 stacks for Guma. This is also a thing we're
it was funny, Vel.
we're looking at. And T1 are just pushing bot.
Yeah.
The Baron.
Bounties are up. Gold lead has gotten pretty substantial here. We'll see if Brion can kill Owner again.
They're trying to find someone to engage on, but Harry just, oh, that's the combo. There it is. And now Samber, oh no! You poor 80 carry in 2024. Yeah, he didn't last very long there. And now Faker's in the base. He's going to miss his W. Pretty just straight up. I mean, Garrus was walking in a straight line. But, you know, it's all good. I think T1 and Faker will be totally fine to take this win regardless.
Karria has barely been in this game, but he got to do the thing that you play Science Senna for. He got to land the combo.
He did the thing. Oh, Zeus with the flash in, trying to make a play here with Owner. They do have some backup from their Senna, I suppose. Owner getting pretty low, and he is not going to go down to the Tristana. And Zeus just will not be stopped. He just keeps on going in, keeps on jumping forward. T1 looking to take down their second inhibitor.
Yeah, playing Zac when you're ahead is about the best feeling you can get, particularly for the style that T1 likes to play. Very far on the front foot, not going for the end here. Still respecting the fact that Samber is alive. And some of these ultimates are about to come back off of cooldown for Brion, but 2 inhibitors are down. It's a 11.5k gold lead. Third Drake is about to be taken. I don't think the bros are gonna get the win in this one, Valdez.
Yeah. Let's take a look. It was really clean too, like almost instant. And then Samber's just like, well, I guess I misplayed. Unlucky.
Didn't see it coming. And here we have T1 very happy to go in aggressively here. Owner ends up getting taken very low, but just barely not going to go down as, oh no, Morgan.
Yeah. Owner just misses
Q,
or was he trying to dodge the knockout? Oh, the reinforcements, and Owner is dead again, and Morgan! Of course, we should have seen this coming. It is Cassante after all.
Guys, you gotta get out of there.
No,
they don't know. They don't know. Oh, now they know.
It's fine.
It's not fine, Valdez.
I'll just back away.
This is a Zac player right besides me saying it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. You definitely won't slingshot over the wall. Oh. Perhaps the TP.
The flank. Oh, that's a pretty big one. Nicely done by Palu, the follow-up. is pretty strong, but they're not going to kill anyone just yet as Keria gets away. Faker's pretty low. The Q's go in the opposite direction. And nobody can really do damage to Zeus after all of this, as now he's actually the damage dealer, and Guma's just on the run. And Zeus is still at full health. That's going to be the end of this fight and the end of this game, as Palu will stay alive.
Good Hail Mary there from Breon. You got to go for it. A little bit disjointed on the combo there, but nice attempt nonetheless. As Palu desperately trying, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah. Nice try. Nice showing from our new bottom lane from the pro side, as Palu nicely done on the wraparound there. Not going to be taken out as well. Are they going to be able to end the game? I guess they're not. As Zeus now is up against 3 people, and he's going to be taken out. So the game is not over.
Let this be a warning sign. Never celebrate too much, chat.
This happens in solo queue, you lose that game. Oh no, Palu's almost dying to the minions. As, yeah, this Nexus is extremely low. T1, they had their fun.
It's standing, Valdez. It's not down yet.
It's alive. Look at it. It's fine.
Surely there's a chance.
It's really broken back from this. I think Faker's just going to wall into the base.
I forgot what the stat was, but if I remember correctly, the win rate for winning a game after one of like 3 inhibitors have been taken down is like, I think it's like 90+%. I think you're looking like 92 to 94, somewhere around that range.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of meant to be the be-all and end-all outside of Elder Dragon, right?
All right, they're going to do the Baron, as we'll take a look at this replay.
And Palu sets it up here. Really, the only downside is that the follow-up of damage is a little bit slow. I think if they perfectly layer it there, and for example, Guma gets the opportunity to flash now, that could have actually been a definitely game and delaying fight coming out from Breon. But unfortunately, just a little bit disjointed. Palu is a little bit earlier than the rest of the team, and I can't fault them because with the TP, they know that the re-engage is coming. The Nexus is standing.
Owner, no chill, just going for the Varus, and that was his job since the beginning, as now going to take out Karis as well. And that should be the end of this one, guys. 2-0 to the side of T1.